and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy. Oh Lord, guys, I have been dying. This is not only hysterical, it's weird. Something is going on, and this definitely shows a cover-up. If you saw the title of the video, then you know, guys. So Biden this week, he has been on his little campaign trail, even though all the funds have been drying up because he keeps having his donors pulling out. They just did another one where they canceled an event in Chicago that they were doing for fundraising because the donors are pulling out. Everybody is screaming at him to leave. So now he's, as you guys have heard on this channel, he's saying, oh, well, I'm not here for the elites. I'm here for the real people. Let's talk to the real people. Even though, yeah, you are absolutely one of the elites. And it's just funny watching him make them angry. He's shaking a hornet's nest. And I am concerned that basically, they are doing shots fired. Please infer. See, people like this who are wealthy, they have no problem hiring people to take care of problems. And I really hope that's not going to happen with him because I don't wish ill will on anyone. However, let's laugh at the ridiculous circus. So he has been doing this. He's been doing things with NATO. And this time, he is doing something with one of the workers' unions. I forget what it is. But he's there and he does a speech. And guys, I don't know how to explain what's happened. They take the mic from him. They go crazy for a little bit. I don't know what this situation is, but let's go ahead and check this out. And if you like content like this, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get updates from me. Also, guys, as we watch this, leave comments. Are there things that I'm seeing that you're not in this? Let me know and give me a like. Everything helps. All right, let's dive in.
This is family. Thank you, and welcome, Mr. President. This is your home.
What you didn't see before, they were clapping going 4 more years, and she was like, 4 more years. It's just weird, and she keeps saying, we're your family, we're your family. Is it just me? Like, I always really dislike situations where I'm in a work situation and they go, we're your family, because it always like, oh, that sounds nice, but most of the time, no, you're about the bottom line, and you will completely screw me and my life over if it gives you like a quarter more this quarter. Don't act like we're family, and it all seems like manipulation tactics, right? Oh, we're family, so we can convince you to do more free labor for us. That's why, like, I am, and I have reservations about it, but I am kind of into the kids now who are like, I'm not doing more than what I'm paid for, because our labor has been taken advantage of for so long. For so long, we've been gaslit. You need to give more and work for free and get nothing in return while we make other people rich who are horrible to us. So I'm all about it, but just kind of give you some context. Here we go.
This is your family. We couldn't be more honored that with all those NATO leaders waiting for you down the street that you came here to the House of Labor.
House of Labor.
Yes. We are your NATO. That's what I say in the U.S. So we are, again, here to support the record that you've had of creating millions of new jobs, bringing manufacturing back to this country, investing in clean energy and semiconductors and whole new industries, creating good union jobs with labor standards. Incredible. So we just want to say, Mr. President, you support unions, you support working families. You've always had our back. We have your back.
She's about to cry. You know what? And here's the thing, guys. She may be a lovely person, right? I don't know her, so I don't want to say. She may actually be sincere about the work she's doing. I'm very pro-union. I'm all for this sort of thing. I don't know much about the labor union. Maybe they're terrible. So, you know, if you come at me in the comments, I'm saying up front, I don't know much about it. But, like, she's about to cry. She sounds sincere, and it breaks my heart for the things that are about to happen next.
Hey, folks. Thank you. Please, sit down. Hey, look,
Nobody
number
sits
one.
Do you see who sit down? Nobody sits down. I'm sorry. It's just, and you know what? It's just awkward stuff. That I'm not trying to be unfair. Like, I'm sure that they are just standing because of, like, you know, maybe in their minds they're honored to see him or something. I love awkward stuff like this, especially when it's like older white people, like white boomer awkwardness. And hello, my boomers. I know I have a lot of you watching me. I love you guys so much. I'm not trying to call you out individually, but we all know there are turds in every punch bowl. My generation, we have turds. They're everywhere, right? The millennials, the Gen Z, the alphas. So we all just have to poke fun at what we do, right? But some of y'all in your generation, get awkward, and it's just funny.
The way I look at it, and I was thinking about this last night, knowing I'm going to be here and going from here to the NATO summit. We have two strong organizations in America that I look to for our security. One, literally, and I mean this sincerely, is NATO. NATO, a joint assembly of democracies that made sure we're keeping the peace, and no one's going to screw around with us, the strongest it's ever been. And I think of you as my domestic NATO. Not a joke. You're the ones beyond me, and you know Matt with this better than I do. Beyond me, it's all about whether
I do. Also, I want you to notate how many times it says it's not a joke. It's not a joke. This is another one, like another thing he keeps repeating, but he'll repeat it weirdly, like out of context, out of nowhere.
or not we're going to grow the economy, whether we're going to give working people a shot. And I told you, and because a lot of you were there with me all the way back when I was a kid, and I'm only 42, but when I
The worst part is when he's like, I'm only 42, and everybody laughs, and he kind of giggles. Like, it's probably obviously a joke, but at this point, you almost have to look at it and go, is it? I'm sure it is, guys, but it's just, he's had so many different gaffes and stuff. It's like, does he know? Does he know how old he is? And you know what? I'm kind of glad this is happening, because how much was Trump taken out of, regardless of whether you hate him or not, we have to be realistic. How much was he constantly taken out of context? They would say he said things he didn't, or they would say, oh, he's meant this, this, and this. The one that drives me the most nuts, and I know this is controversial when he talks about the border, they're bringing crime, they're terrorists, and some I assume are good people. He could have worded that better. I fully agree with that. But at the same time, he's talking about the fact that there is human, what do you call that? Like if your car is in traffic and then because I don't know what YouTube will let me say, all kinds of that happens down there. That's what he was referring to and talking about how unsafe the situation is. Instead, they were like, see, he hates all these types of people. No. He's talking about the fact that there's still human slavery going on down there, and this should be addressed. It should be addressed anywhere. Like, we seem to have this idea, we seem to have this fantasy that, like, slavery is dead, especially because they like to focus on the R word. Everything is R, racist. But instead, everything seems to be a whole situation where we're all being divided to fight with one another, while under the table, they're doing still real slavery to this day. Just makes me furious.
When I was a kid, back running for the Senate when I was 29 years old, Labor elected me. And we were then a right-to-work state. And we changed it all. And here's what we're doing. You've heard me say it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it again. The middle class built this country. You built the middle class. No. And by the way, I don't want to hurt your reputations, but even Wall Street's acknowledging your power. No, I'm serious. Look at every projection.
Every time he says, by the way, I've told you this in videos, but I get so excited. By the way, because he's going off script and he's probably about to do some crazy stuff.
And about what we want to do with the economy on the issues that we're talking about and what the other guy wants to do. They're supporting us. It's your agenda we're working on.
No, they're
and
not.
By the way, I've said from the beginning,
by the way,
when Labor does well, everybody does better. Not a joke. That's not a talking point. That is a reality.
They start clapping. Not a joke. And he'll do it, and there's other times he does it too. They'll clap. Not a joke. Why are you, like, speaking 101? If they are clapping and they are having a good time, if they are engaging with you, don't stop them from doing so. Nobody thinks you're joking. I don't know. I just feel like he's using a lot of buzzwords and filler phrases because he just keeps getting lost in what he's actually saying and doing, and probably where he is as a whole.
You know that, Lee. That is reality. It is an absolute reality. When we were I said I was going to be the most pro-union president in American history. Well, guess what? I am, and I'm staying there.
Did you hear the mumbles? Did you hear him?
No, I mean it. Because you represent the folks I grew up with. You represent where I come from. You represent where the vast majority of the American people. You know, I come from a household with a 3-bedroom. We weren't poor, but we weren't. We didn't have anything left over at the end of the month. And but you know, 3-bedroom house, 4 kids. Grandpa lived with us. Someone lived with us full time. I look back now and wonder how my dad handled those thin walls. But at any rate, the point is that we're just giving people a fighting chance. And when I got elected,
he keeps talking about, like, give people a fighting chance, like he's the one doing it. We're all in poverty under what you've done with the economy and inflation. Just, I need that to be known. With you spending $175 billion with a B on the war in Ukraine and the fact that you're going to continue to fund it. So don't act like you're giving us a fighting chance. You're just draining our pocketbooks because you're trying to destroy this country.
And even when you guys are with me going all the way back into the 70s when I was a kid, that what we talked about was the whole idea of this was to give everybody a shot. No guarantee, just a shot, an even shot. And that's why I determined, and we've done it with your help and your leadership. We're going to build this country from the bottom up and the middle out, not the top down. No, I mean it. Not a joke.
Again, they're clapping. They're like, yes, we like your point. And he's like trying to stop them. Y'all, what is he doing? What is little Biden doing?
Not a joke. They're wanting me not to take too much time with you all today, but in terms of talking. But here's the deal.
They're warning me not to take too much time to talk to y'all. Again, it's like his brain isn't functioning well enough where he doesn't exactly know what information to say and what information to not say. What this tells me is somebody's in the back going, wrap it up. Wrap it up. They probably see he's starting to, I think that they can tell that there are certain areas where he starts to sway and he starts to go off course, and they can tell that a blunder is about to happen. But why would you say that to these people? Well, they don't want me talking much to you guys because you guys are losers. Not that he's directly saying that, but like that's what that implies. He doesn't know what information to disseminate when because those barriers in the brain are starting to collapse and come down. Doesn't know what to do when, doesn't know what's appropriate. Like that's offensive. Have you guys seen that guy? I forget who he is. I think he's called The Real Choi. And he does these skits about like I think it's Gen Z. And they're really funny because like Gen Z will be kidnapped or something. And then they'll be like completely on the side of the person kidnapping them about everything. Like, yes, slay daddy. And then they'll accidentally misgender and they'll go, that's offensive. And finally start fighting back against the kidnap. Anyways, that's what that is. That's offensive.
The fact of the matter is, take a look at what all the major economists, including the Wall Street economists, are saying. They looked at his proposal, what he's done, and what our proposal is moving forward. And overwhelmingly, you got 16 Nobel laureates in economic law, and they won the Nobel Prize for economics. 16.
We almost got it out. Economic. We almost got it out. Almost. And you know what? Going on this one, he wasn't doing a ton of these stuttering blunders. So again, remember the wrap it up guy? I think there are tells where they know he's about to do some stupid stuff like this, and that's why they're saying, come on.
16 of them. And what did they say? They say his proposals are going to bankrupt the country. His proposals are going to cause a recession. His proposals are going to cause us higher interest rates. And what you and I, and you've been helping me, you've been either leading on, or I've been following you, or you've been following me, what we propose is growing the country. Right. No, we're the fastest growing economy in the world. That's a fact. We're the strongest economy in the world. But here's what we got to do.
Are we?
We got to talk to our people. Got to talk to our people. Food prices are still too high because of corporate greed.
Did you say poo prices? Anybody else hear that? Poo prices are too high because of corporate greed. Okay, maybe I'm taking too many liberties, but I heard poo prices, which I love. Whoopi Goldberg would love that.
We're in a situation where rents are too high. We need more housing. A whole range of things we're going to get done with your help in the second term.
You've made it worse.
That's what we got to get done.
You've made it worse.
Folks, I've never been more optimistic about America's chances, not because of me, but because of what we're doing together. I really mean it. We're better positioned than any country in the world to own the remainder of the 21st century because of union labor. I'm serious.
Thank you, Mr. President.
If you are interested...
Now, guys, we were scammed. because they didn't show you what actually happened. What actually happened has been edited and seems like it's been almost scrubbed from the internet, but I got a copy of this. This comes from Memology. Go subscribe. They're hysterical. They put up hilarious things every day, and they were able to actually capture what really happened at the end, which is concerning and distressing and disturbing. So I want you to take a look at this, and then we're going to discuss and tell me what you hear and what you see, because that is not how this ended. This is how it did. Check this out.
I'm serious.
First, did you see awkwardly? She kind of just takes the mic from him, right? Now, here's where it's going to get weird.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're going to have a conversation. And the most diverse cabinet in history. I think that goes sometimes unnoticed.
I promised I was going to have a cabinet that looked like America. And it does. More minorities, more women, more labor. I'm serious. Think about it. That's who we are. That's why we're strong. We're diverse. We're strong. We got to stop looking at it like it's a problem. It's an asset.
What was that? What was that? So let's break down what we just saw, because this is crazy. So they grab the mic from him. Thank you, Mr. President. All of a sudden takes it back unprompted. And you can hear like they were cutting the feed because you couldn't hear him very well. It sounds like he starts talking about DEI, which is the equity inclusion, right? And here's the thing about DEI, diversity. I'm all for the idea if put into place correctly. Okay, so for instance, I do not like the organization Black Lives Matter, but of course, Black Lives Matter, and I support my minority brothers and sisters no matter what color you are, and I want your lives to improve because of the things that have happened. I feel the same way with DEI. I do not like it as an organization, as the group. I like the idea, right? So he just starts going off script about DEI, and they just want it done. So I think what we didn't see was they're trying to take the mic back. They're cutting his mic, cutting the feed, and they're getting the camera off, and then literally we get the rainbow screen. Nobody else actually aired that part of it and what really happened. That's been clipped out everywhere from the internet. The question is why? Why was that clipped out? What actually happened? And then what I get concerned about is what happened afterward. Did they like take him back in a car and sedate him or something? At this point, guys, when I look at what's going on with him, my concern is we're looking at a Britney Spears situation and he's being medically kidnapped. That's what I am genuinely worried about. And in that regard, I think we need to get him help. The fact that Jill Biden has come out and said, no, we're not doing anything about this. No, we're not getting him help. There's nothing wrong with him. I don't know. This just feels really scary and seems a little bit like medical kidnapping. But this isn't all that happened, guys. So I do want to break this down because I think this is kind of funny. So George Clooney has come out. George Clooney, as we know, he is a big old lefty, right? And he was actually a part of one of the events, the donor events that recently got canceled because he and the other donors pulled out. It was just like a week ago, he was like endorsing and on board for Biden and now is calling for him to step down. Not only has Biden's team responded, Trump has responded. So let me tell you what's happened. He has called for Biden to step down. Biden's team basically called him out, and we'll go into detail about this, but when he says to step down, basically George Clooney says he's not the same man. I met him recently and it's just not the same man as before. Although that was a week or two ago and you kept this to yourself until now, but we should trust you on that. Biden's team came out and said Clooney was there for like a couple minutes. He came in, took a picture with Biden and left. How would he be able to give an actual assessment of what's going on when he wasn't even there and wasn't even supporting the situation? Shots fired. He is messing with money. And it's hysterical to watch him mess with these people who have money that he knows could really, really mess things up for him. Well, Donald Trump has now spoken and has said what we all think about this. Take a look at this. This is from The Hill. It says, and this is from The Hill, and it says, Trump rips Clooney over op-ed urging Biden to drop re-election bid. I think this is brilliant because number one, Trump is able to call all of them out for their hypocritical behavior. But number two, I love that Trump has been saying, which I've been saying, now the Republicans, no, we want Joe to stay in because the Republicans will win if Joe's in office. I do get concerned with what we're doing with women's health care, but at this point, we can't pay our bills anywhere. Could we afford to even get health care if we needed it? Here we go. Former President Trump went after George Clooney on Wednesday evening after the actor wrote an op-ed pushing for President Biden to leave the White House race. So now, fake movie actor, he is always saying fake, Trump makes me laugh. So now, fake movie actor George Clooney, who never came close to making a great movie, is getting into the act, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything? Thank you. I think this is what, okay, at this point, tell me what you guys think. When I see a celebrity want to talk politics and endorse somebody, I immediately am turned off, disgusted, and I don't trust it. What do you guys know about anything? And look, here's the thing. You can be talented at more than one thing. I get it, right? Many people have multiple talents, but most of y'all should not be telling us how to live just because you probably did some unscrupulous intimate acts with people who have money to get to where you're at, aka Hollywood. So because you went and did some gutter type of behavior to get money, I should look to you on the morals of how to run my life. It just, like, make it make sense. All y'all were friends with Epstein, and we should take advice from you. So I love that Trump is calling this out. Clooney should get out of politics and get back to television, the former president later added in the post. Movies never really worked for him. Clooney, a longtime Democratic and top fundraiser for the president, called Biden a friend, but said the incumbent has changed. He said, I love Joe Biden. As a senator, as a vice president, as president, I consider him a friend and I believe in him, believe in his character, believe in his morals, he wrote. In the last 4 years, he's won many of the battles he's faced. But the one battle he cannot win is the fight against time. None of us can, Clooney continued. It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe big effing deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. Then why did you hold this information, George? If you knew it then, why did you hold on to it until now? Now, to be fair, maybe he saw red flags and was concerned, but thought, okay, well, maybe he's having an off night. Let's give it time. But the fact is, what we're hearing rumblings of is this exact situation he's talking about, this fundraiser, whatever this was they were at. Many people are coming out saying they all saw how bad it was and they were all concerned, but they all just decided to keep it from us because us dumb plebes shouldn't know what's going on. He later added that while Biden stepping aside at this point in the election would be messy, it would be worth it. Joe Biden is a hero. He saved democracy in 2020. Blech. Says George Clooney. He doesn't know, hasn't had a clue on the fact that we can't pay our bills because he was doing intimate acts allegedly with people in Hollywood to get to where he needed to be so he could think he's a big deal and do his bobblehead I'm amazing stuff. He has that ego, and a lot of people had this in the 80s where they walked around like they just kind of bobble their head. It's almost like their head was so full of farts or whatever it was that they were huffing to make themselves feel better. They just did a lot of this to act like they were just so much better than all of us. He does a lot of bobblehead and to let you know he knows something you don't and he's more important than you. Drives me, he's a hero. He saved us. Saved us from what? We are worse off than we've ever been. This just makes me so mad. We need him to do it again in 2024. Trump pushed back on the actor's characterization of Biden using his common rhetoric. He uses the Democrat talking points that Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, has saved our democracy, the presumptive GOP president nominee posted. No, Crook Joe was the one who weaponized law enforcement against the political opponent, yes, who created the most devastating inflation in the history of our country, correct, who embarrassed our nation in Afghanistan, whose crazy open border policy has allowed millions of people to illegally pour into our country, many from prisons and mental institutions. And isn't it interesting that the left loves to say that they do not like, can I say the word? For us to be able to arm ourselves. Yet every time they go to these celebrity events, they come with guards who are heavily armed. Make it make sense, guys. I love that he's calling it out. Crooked Joe Biden didn't save our democracy. He brought our democracy to its knees, he added. Correct. Clooney is just one of a growing list of Democrats who have publicly called on the president to drop out of the race in the wake of rocky presidential debate performance last month against Trump. On the stage, Biden stumbled over his words as a raspy voice and lacked energy, raising concern about his age, mental fitness, and ability to not only defeat Trump in November, but also serve another 4 years. The White House and Biden's allies have been insistent that the incumbent is not leaving the race. And while Trump has mocked Biden's showing during the debate, he also encouraged him to stay the course. Following the Ticket to Paradise star's lead, actor Michael Douglas said he was also deeply concerned about Biden's campaign, and during an appearance Wednesday on ABC's The View, Douglas called the president a wonderful guy, but said Clooney's push for him to step down is valid. A representative for Clooney did not immediately respond to the Hill's request for comment. I'm sure he didn't. So let's go over all of this. Biden is so bad off that they are trying to cover up that they have to grab the mic from him. He grabs it back, goes off script. Who knows what happened up there? They cut his mic. They really hastily take the camera off and put up the rainbow screen, cut the feed, and that is all being hidden from us. What really happened? What happened that we didn't see? What's going on there, guys? Why did he grab the mic again? Why was somebody in the back going, wrap it up, don't talk too long here? And isn't it interesting that the Hollywood elites, the elites Biden is fighting against, are now going after him, and they've said they've known for a while that things aren't good. And this is why, guys, when celebrities want to endorse a political candidate or something, do not trust them. A, they're probably being paid, and B, they honestly do not know what they're talking about. Just like Clooney has just said, they are lying straight to your face, if nothing else, lying by omission. But I want to know now, what do you guys think? What do you think about what happened with the feed? What do you think about what Clooney said? What do you think about what Trump said? And even Biden's team, they shot back at Clooney saying, you were only here for 2 seconds. How would you know? I'm loving this. Guys, this is the best soap opera I've ever seen in my life. Tell me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments. If you like content like this, make sure and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so you get updates. And give me a like. Everything helps. All right, guys. We also, tonight, we have this amazing press that he is doing. He is doing a press event where he's going to be taking live questions off script. It's my birthday, and I can't wait. All right, guys, take care. Until the next video, I'm giving y'all hugs, mwah, kisses, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.